So today I'm going to be building a flat bow out of this piece of vine maple. I cut this piece of vine maple in the summer, and when I cut it, it was one of the lower branches, and I got it home and I went ahead and cut it down on the bandsaw to let it dry quicker, and it was already dry and I didn't know that. So this was actually a dead limb that I cut, and I was lucky enough to actually cut it at the time that I did. So that was pretty cool. Obviously be the belly of the bow. So the overall length of the stave is 65 inches. So now I know that the center of that's going to be 32.5. So I'm just going to simply take a measurement, try to anyway with this stave being so bent up, and I'm going to make a mark at 32.5 right there. So that's the center, and then so since I already established that this is going to be the top limb by how it has been, I'm just going to go up 1 inch, and then the lower limb I'm going to go down 3. So this is the handle, and this is going to be the top part of the handle, and this is going to be the lower part of the handle. So I'm going to make my handle, and I usually like him around over an inch, about 1.25 inches. So I just make a mark on the top and around 1 inch, and then I just basically freehand it. Whatever works. This works great for me. If I don't put the leather in the way, that is. And these are the fades. I got 2-inch fades, so I'm just going to freehand these two up to that, to the, that's how wide the limbs are going to be. And I'm going to make an arrow rest. So since I have this is where the arrow rest is going to be, as long as I remember not to cut it out. That should be good. So I have the bow pretty much roughed out the shape. The next thing before I start the tillering process, which is tapering the limbs, is I want to take the bark and the cambium underneath it off. And right now it's a little bit more challenging because the bark and the cambium's dry. Ideally, you know, you could take it off when it's still green, but in a perfect world, a lot of things would be a lot different. So I'm going to do it the way that I have to, and I'll show you how. So when the wood is still green, normally you can just basically take a little piece of the bark and just peel it off, and it peels down in long strips. So when it's really dry and to take the bark and the cambium off, you want to be really careful not to dig into the back of the bow and create a bunch of tool marks, which in turn creates weaknesses. So how I was showed to do it was simply by obviously flipping the draw knife over and just slowly taking a little chunks at a time and getting down into the cambium, which is this stuff, this real thin layer, and then take a pocket knife or whatever and then just scrape. And that's basically how it's done, all the way down. So I got the bow roughly shaped out like I said earlier. I got the cambium and the bark off. Now I'm going to start the tillering process, and basically the tillering process is just simply, basically in a nutshell, just tapering these limbs down. The tools that I like to use for tillering are either the draw knife and a farrier's rasp, or even a bandsaw if you have it, if you want to use it, depending on the speed. So here we go. So whenever I'm starting to tiller out the bow, I like to make a mark where I know where my top limb is and the center point and where my fade outs are going to be. And basically I just basically try to keep the top limb. I'll start out at, depending on what draw weight I want. I don't want a real light bow, so I'm going to keep this one actually. I'm not going to touch it too much right here because it's pretty close to where I think I want it to be, but I am going to come down here to the tip of this limb right here, and then I'm just going to, from the back of the bow, make a mark, and it's going to be, I'm just going to guess, I want it to be at least 5/8 of an inch, because like I said, I don't want a bow that's going to be 15-pound draw weight. It's not the kind of bows I like to shoot. And obviously this is going to be the top limb, so I'm going to do the same. I'm going to make this one about 5/8 thick, and then I'm just going to bring it down. You can see this. Stay with the contour, the grains of the woods the best I can. And just make a mark. Draw a line. Some people like to use a compass, you know, but I just freehand it because I always try to play on the safe side of not taking off too much, you know. All right, I'm going to do the other side and get to shaping. So right now what I want to do is I want to straighten this limb out before I go any farther. You can see it's obviously twisted. So my plan is I built just a really easy makeshift form to hold this into place. I'm going to heat this up, this limb, and I'm going to bend it over, clamp it down, and yeah, and then take some of this reflex out and clamp it, heat this up, and take this down too. So I'm going to try to do my best to get all this on film to where you can see it. And so let's go ahead and start. So that was a bummer. I guess I was asking too much for that wood, trying to bend it too quickly. Kind of need two people when you're doing stuff like that, or steam, or more patience, one of the two. I don't have any more vine maple, so this build just turned into a hazelnut build. I do have some hazelnut, so yeah, that's kind of bow building, I guess. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So a bummer that the vine maple broke, but I got this hazelnut stave cut back, so hopefully I can turn that into a good bow. It's a lot straighter. So I'm gonna basically do what I recorded, what you guys saw. So I'm gonna spare you a lot of the stuff that I've already done, but yeah, just starting over again. So that's the way it goes. Alright, so I got the string knocks cut in and I got it pretty much shaped out and kind of floor tillered. I have no idea what poundage this bow is going to be. Let's see where we're at. Oh wow. Let's say we got some work to do on this limb. Bring her down, but that's okay. Wow, okay. Now I know. Here's a quick peek of it so far. I still need to work on the limbs a little bit more, but it's getting there. but that's a job for tomorrow. So I got this bow to brace height. It's Hazelnut, and I haven't even finished sanded it or anything. I'm just getting ready to try it out. So we'll see how it shoots. No cracks, no pops. It shoots really good. So, yeah, cool. So I just weighed the bow, and at my short draw length, at 23 inches, it weighed around 55 pounds, 55, 56 pounds. It's pretty heavy. And the reason why I have such a short draw length is because I got into a motorcycle accident years ago, so it kind of limited my my draw. So, but that's okay. So now I'm going to unstring this, and I'm going to, this is one of the most important things for me when building a bow, is when I unstring it, trying to keep it to where the limbs go back to where they're, you know, their natural. So we'll see how it goes. Here we go. Looks pretty good. This did have kind of a natural set. I thought about reflexing the tips, but I don't want to. It's good. So yeah, I think it turned out just dandy. And yeah, so I started out with a vine maple bow, and then that broke, and then I started on a hazelnut bow, and that snapped. And I had one more stave left of hazelnut, and so I hurried up and made this, and this one turned out really good. So it was fun to build. It was kind of frustrating with those bows breaking, but oh well. So I got the first coat of True Oil gun oil on. I'll put a couple more on there. I left the cambium on here. So, but yeah, it shoots really good, and it weighs 55 pounds at 23 inches. And, you know, it turned out good. This is kind of a frustrating build, but yeah, it's good. So I'm going to unstring it. And like I said, after shooting it, I like it to not take a set, and it's not taking a set. So, but anyway, it's been strung for a while. So here we go. Alrighty. So there you go, hazelnut bow. Turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. So thanks for watching, and yeah, please like and subscribe and share. See ya.